humans are an ingenious species. Though we've been on the planet for a relatively short amount of time, Earth is 13.8 billion years old, modern Homo sapiens have dreamed up and created some amazing, sometimes far-out, things. From the moment someone bashed a rock on the ground to make the first sharp-edged tool, to the debut of the wheel to the development of Mars rovers and the Internet, several key advancements stand out as particularly revolutionary. Here are our top picks for the most important inventions of all time, along with the science behind the invention and how they came about. 10. The wheel. Before the invention of the wheel in 3500 BC, humans were severely limited in how much stuff we could transport over land, and how far. Apparently the wheel itself wasn't the most difficult part of inventing the wheel. When it came time to connect a non-moving platform to that rolling cylinder, things got tricky, according to David Anthony, a professor of anthropology at Hartwick College. 9. The nail. Without nails, civilization would surely crumble. This key invention dates back more than 2,000 years to the ancient Roman period, and became possible only after humans developed the ability to cast and shape metal. Previously, wood structures had to be built by interlocking adjacent boards, geometrically a much more arduous construction process. 8. The compass. Ancient mariners navigated by the stars, but that method didn't work during the day or on cloudy nights, and so it was unsafe to voyage far from land. 7. The printing press. The German Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press around 1440. Key to its development was the hand mold, a new molding technique that enabled the rapid creation of large quantities of metal movable type. Though others before him, including inventors in China and Korea, had developed movable type made from metal, Gutenberg was the first to create a mechanized process that transferred the ink, which he made from linseed oil and soot, from the movable type to paper. 6. The internal combustion engine. In these engines, the combustion of a fuel releases a high-temperature gas, which, as it expands, applies a force to a piston, moving it. Thus, combustion engines convert chemical energy into mechanical work. Decades of engineering by many scientists went into designing the internal combustion engine, which took its, essentially, modern form in the latter half of the 19th century. The engine ushered in the industrial age, as well as enabling the invention of a huge variety of machines, including modern cars and aircraft. 5. The telephone. Though several inventors did pioneering work on electronic voice transmission, many of whom later filed intellectual property lawsuits when telephone use exploded, Alexander Graham Bell was the first to be awarded a patent for the electric telephone in 1876. His patent drawing is pictured above. 4. The light bulb. When all you have is natural light, productivity is limited to daylight hours. Light bulbs changed the world by allowing us to be active at night. According to historians, 24 people were instrumental in inventing incandescent lamps throughout the 1800s. Thomas Edison is credited as the primary inventor because he created a completely functional lighting system, including a generator and wiring as well as a carbon filament bulb like the one above, in 1879. 3. Penicillin. It's one of the most famous discovery stories in history. In 1928, the Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming noticed a bacteria-filled petri dish in his laboratory with its lid accidentally ajar. The sample had become contaminated with a mold, and everywhere the mold was, the bacteria was dead. That antibiotic mold turned out to be the fungus Penicillium, and over the next 2 decades, chemists purified it and developed the drug penicillin, which fights a huge number of bacterial infections in humans without harming the humans themselves. 2. Contraceptives. Not only have birth control pills, Condoms and other forms of contraception sparked a sexual revolution in the developed world by allowing men and women to have sex for leisure rather than procreation. They have also drastically reduced the average number of offspring per woman in countries where they are used. With fewer mouths to feed, modern families have achieved higher standards of living and can provide better for each child. Meanwhile, on the global scale, contraceptives are helping the human population gradually level off. Our number will probably stabilize by the end of the century. Certain contraceptives, such as condoms, also curb the spread of sexually transmitted diseases. 1. The Internet. It really needs no introduction. The global system of interconnected computer networks known as the Internet is used by billions of people worldwide. Countless people helped develop it, but the person most often credited with its invention is the computer scientist Lawrence Roberts. In the 1960s, a team of computer scientists working for the U.S. Defense Department's ARPA, Advanced Research Projects Agency, built a communications network to connect the computers and the agency, called ARPANET. It used a method of data transmission called packet switching, which Roberts, a member of the team, developed based on prior work of other computer scientists. ARPANET was the predecessor of the Internet.